Shall we start to do a few questions from the latest, uh, recent papers? So far, we did some of the question from 2000, 2005, yeah, 2000, from 2000 onward. Now, these question after 2015, uh, we are trying to do this question. I'm also trying to understand the evolution of these genetic questions. Okay, let's do this question, right? So can you try to find answer for this?
Okay, sir. Answer number one, sir.
Hmm?
One.
19.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's calculate it and see. A cross between pure line, short, black hair, uh, short. Short mean we take capital H for short, black haired. Because pure line is they always produced same phenotype. There's no difference with the F1, F2 generations. So then other one is a long uh, white-haired guinea pigs produce uh, short black-haired offspring. So this combination should be this resulted in a heterozygous genotype. This is very similar to Mendel genetics dihybrid cross. Now, as I told you, now first approach is whether this is Mendel genetics or non-Mendel genetic. The approach is step number one: is it Mendel genetic or non-Mendel genetic? If we do this step, this shows us it is Mendel genetics because pure line, black-haired, short black-haired, and pure line, uh, long white-haired. So we don't know what is recessive or dominant in the first part of the questions. We can't guess. But the second part, F1 generation has uh, produced short black-haired. So F1 generation is this. Then these factors like a pure line help to make the genotype. They are homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive, as we'll see the word pure line. And F1 generation, similar to this one, then also we can guess what is dominant recessive and all these things. After that, F2 generation is this. So if the F2 generation is like this, we should get a 9 to 3 to 3 to 1 ratio. Then question is asking how many of them would have the short black hair according to Mendel laws. Okay, anyway, they say here Mendel's laws at the end. So short black haired. If there were 33 offspring in F2 generation, so this is a F2 generation, now 33, short black hair. So short black hair is, do you agree? This is a short black hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is short black hair. Then the total number is here 16. Then if we double it, it is very close to a 33, but actual number is 32. But we assume it's a 32, then we should also double this one 18. So then 18 plus 1 close to 19. Yes, I think yes, you're correct. It's 19. Okay, good. Then yeah, that's the same question, right? Then 2016, I found this question. Shall we also do this one?
Yes. Uh, so here, can I consider carrier also as normal, or it's a different thing?
Yeah, I think most of the diseases, the carriers are normal, except certain condition like sickle cell. The carriers can sometimes show the symptoms, but we can consider carriers are normal.
Uh, so answer number two.
Two. Okay, let's see. Oh, there is a something not related to genetics, but we can still learn at this point from this question some of the information which we have to learn from other lessons like in circulation. Now, what is important when we consider this disease, hemophilia, some of the diseases are considered as a genetic disease. The meaning of genetic disease is most of the diseases they are getting from the parents due to mutation of the gametes. That means when the parents have the disease conditions, there is a very high chance of uh, getting the genetic disease to the next generation because of this allele moving to the gametes. And if this one is recessive from both parents and the genetic disorder is recessive, it can express in the children. Or definitely parents phenotype, they have a genetic disease and this is caused by a dominant allele, then very high chance, like very close to 100% chance of getting the disease to the offspring. Only one person is carrier and the recessive disease, recessive form is the recessive one is the genetic disease, and only one person is the carrier. There is less chance, but both are carriers. That means both have one allele recessive form cause the disease. Then the 25% of chance is coming. For example, if a person has A father has a capital A, simple A, and mother also has capital A, simple A, and the simple A is the allele cause for genetic disease. We can understand there's a 25% of chance children can get the genetic disease. Uh, why this one is important for us? Because we should understand if there is a damage to the blood vessels. What we observe, blood is going out of the vessels, but immediately we have a backup mechanism to make a clot and prevent bleeding. So briefly, what is happening at the point of a damage? For example, if this is a blood vessel and this one is the damage, this place is immediately covered by a small network like this. This network is prepared by a protein called fib fib fibrino fibrinogen fibrin, sorry, fibrin. So fibrin is an insoluble proteins. That's why we can visible. They are not soluble when it form. Fibrin, it's a fibrous type of proteins, and they starting with the monomers. They join together to make this polymeric net called fibrin. So this fibrin protein is formed from its inactive form, fibrinogen. A fibrinogen is soluble. It is dissolved in the blood and it is inactive. So this should be converted by an enzyme called thrombin. Thrombin is enzyme. But thrombin is also existing in normal condition as inactive form, as prothrombin. So prothrombin is inactive form in the blood. This prothrombin converted to thrombin by another enzyme called thromboplastin. A thromboplastin is not in the plasma. Thromboplastin is otherwise it is in the plasma. It always trying to clot the blood. So thromboplastin is not in the plasma. It is completely covered. So that means it is in the cell called platelets. So it is in the platelet. When there's a damage, the platelet activate and release thromboplastin. Then a fibrin form. Then the fibrin can trap white blood cell, red blood cell, platelets, everything, and it make the clot. Okay. Now, what is the hemophilia? Hemophilia is it's a blood clotting disorder. So this is a blood clotting pathway. Platelet activation is the step one in blood clotting. Platelet is activated because of the blood vessel damage. The damage expose, for example, collagen. The collagen is a part of the blood vessel, which is usually inside, not exposed to the blood side, but collagen exposed. Collagen can bind with platelet and it can activate. Now, person with hemophilia have problem with blood clotting. So if they have a problem with blood clotting, what is the exact reason for this one? Hemophilia is they are unable to produce a protein called a factor 8. So this is for the hemophilia A. The common form is hemophilia A. So they are unable to produce factor 8. What is factor 8? Factor 8 is a protein. The protein is required for blood clotting. Okay, now if this is a blood clotting pathway, where does the factor 8 involved? So we don't see factor 8 in this pathway. Okay, in that case, blood clotting is very complex process. But we learn only the summary of the blood clotting pathway. So we don't learn everything. That means uh, there is another complex pathway which is starting like this. There's a protein, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, like this. There is another pathway. Actually, we are not learning that pathway called intrinsic and extrinsic pathway of blood clotting, and proteins are involved for these. But only we learn thromboplastin release from the platelet, then activate prothrombin to thrombin. Thrombin can activate uh, thrombin can activate fibrinogen into fibrin. But there is another factor required for the activation of thrombin. So that pathway we are not learning, and that pathway needs a lot of proteins. So hemophilia is a blood clotting disorder, and it is basically due to lack of factor 8, which is required for blood clotting. Where does it involve? It is involved to activate the thrombin, but we don't learn those pathways. They are very complex. That's one thing. Second thing, we should also know there is a non-Mendel genetics. Under that, certain conditions we listed. There is a one condition called X-linked genetic. In that case, X chromosome is quite larger, Y chromosome is smaller, and both X and Y responsible for making gender of a human. That means it decide male or female, XX female, XY male. Being X chromosome is larger, there are other genes which is responsible for certain other phenotype of human body. So they are not responsible to make gender of human. So there are few like this, and there are few genetic diseases coming from these alleles. And these genetic diseases are not much, because you can understand they are only from one chromosome, and the chromosome main function is gender determination, and there are few additional genes. As a result, there are few genetic diseases in humans. Under that, most of them are rare genetic diseases. So common genetic diseases are, always we talk in the syllabus and many other places, hemophilia. So then we should remember hemophilia is a genetic diseases X-linked. Another common one is a red-green color blindness. Red-green color blindness and hemophilia are the two genetic diseases with X-linked chromosome. And there is a very common thing we are learning always. That one is if mother is normal, but there is a small issue here. Simple H is a carrier form and father is normal. So this is a little bit special conditions. Father is normal and mother is also normal. Only one is carrier. So what I said from the beginning, the chances, 25% chances are there if both are carriers to the recessive allele. But this is one exceptional case. In this case, we are learning as this marriage X capital H, X capital H, X capital H, X simple H, X capital H Y, X simple H Y. Now you see, this is an exceptional situation. Only one person is carrier, but there is again 25% of chance the children get the disease. And it is also male, because male has one allele, the male get this chance, 25% of chance. Okay, according to that, if we look this fact, if when you say two, if a carrier woman marries a normal man, uh,
So answer is one, guys.
if a carrier woman marries a hemophilic man, 50% of their children would be normal. I think here 25%, but we don't see 20. I mean, here all the choices are 50%. So in this 50%, if this one is simple H, so man is also a simple H, and capital H, simple H, simple H, simple H, capital H, simple capital H Y. Yeah. Yes, 50% we get. If a carrier woman marries a hemophilic man, 50% of their children would be normal. If a carrier woman marries a normal man, this is not correct. If a carrier woman marries a normal man, this should be 25%. This should be 25%. If a normal woman marries a hemophilic man, 50% of children would be normal. In that case, if a normal woman is capital XH, capital H, capital H, hemophilic man is capital simple HY. This is hemophilic man, this is a normal woman. So then X simple H, X H Y, X H H X H Y. This X H Y. Okay. Now in this case, uh, If a carrier, the fourth one, if a carrier woman marries a normal man, 50% of their children would be normal. I don't have a space. Okay. Let's see. After deleting this. Okay. Fourth one. If a carrier woman X capital H, X simple H, normal man is X H Y. So X capital H, X capital H, X capital H Y, and this one X capital H, X simple H, this one X simple H Y. Uh, this one is normal. This one is normal. This is a carrier, and this is affected. So 50% children are normal. If a carrier woman marries a normal man, 50% of their children would be normal. So fourth one is correct, right?
Even carrier can be taken as normalness.
Now here, if you look at this question, they have a they have you clearly used normal and carriers. So that means we should uh, we should focus on if there is a one recessive allele, then it considered as a carriers. And this case, if you look, they don't have any recessive allele. That means they are not carriers. When they are not carriers, we consider they are normal. So this is normal. This one is a carrier. So, so we can't consider carriers as normal, but they don't show the disease. But according to this question, it is clear normal, they don't have a recessive allele. Carriers, they have one recessive allele, and affected one, it should be male or female. Then the male has one recessive allele, female has two recessive alleles. So fourth one is correct because 50% of children are normal, they are not carriers. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Then 2017, this is the question asked. Can you try this?
One.
Homozygous for that character. Okay, it should be a homozygous or heterozygous.